On this fourth and final night of this convention, tonight's speeches include, of course, the nominee, some Trump administration veterans, and an effort to tap conservative culture with an appearance by wrestler Hulk Hogan and a performance by Michigan musician Kid Rock. So, we are through the bulk of these speeches this week. The addresses have balanced some talk of unity or shared purpose, and those reports that the convention planners wanted to even tone down some rhetoric given the horrific attack last weekend. That's a project that has not prevented sometimes slashing attacks on the Democratic ticket.
The Democrats' economy is of, by, and for illegal aliens.
If you were looking for racism today, you'd find it in cities run by Democrats.
The sexualization and indoctrination of our children.
The Democrats have handed over control of my state, Arizona's border, to the drug cartels.
Today's Democrat agenda, their policies, are a clear and present danger to America.
If they can come for me, and if they can come for Donald Trump, be careful, they will come for you.
Send them back.
As you can see, those type of remarks do show Republicans on offense. The convention has also hit some other notes. In J.D. Vance's debut as a running mate last night, he talked of hope and of God. He opened with a somber reference to that attempted assassination of Donald Trump. And as he spoke about it, nominee Trump looked on from his seat. Vance encouraged Americans specifically to go and watch that terrible attack again and behold what he called Trump's defiant reaction, a moment that also tees up Donald Trump's first speech tonight since that horrific and failed assassination. Now, this address tonight is significant and historic. A former president who was extremely close to an assassin's bullet and death, returning here to address his party and also the nation. And that is true regardless of one's views of Trump, his policies, or his politics. It's true even for critics who note that he has not always extended sympathy or proper gravity after political violence targeting others. And that kind of debate is about whether other people uphold these civic and peaceful traditions, whether we do that regardless of what others do, what they do. The test for America right now ultimately is about us. For anyone who fails to consistently reject violence, well, that would be on them. For those who want to continue to uphold our civic values and peace and justice, it's a different path. And they are not like us. That's the serious context for tonight's address in a nation that has lived through so many attempted and completed assassinations. As for the politics, if we step back from that very serious reality we've lived through since the weekend, the RNC is reaching its crescendo tonight. The party's two nominees, politically today, could really not be in two more different positions, something Rachel and our panel of anchors was discussing last night. Trump rallying his delegates while Biden worries about his delegates potentially revolting, spurred by what is now the largest public push by party leaders to convince President Biden to drop out of this race as he isolates with COVID today, testing positive late yesterday. There are reports stating the Democrats' Senate and House leaders have both urged President Biden to now drop out of the race in extraordinary one-on-one meetings which have been reported, and no denials. That means that unless President Biden himself was the person leaking this, again, one-on-one meetings, it means those Democrats are now escalating a previously private, coordinated plan to push President Biden out at this late stage. There's also a rare leak suggesting Obama himself thinks Biden is now likely to lose and must consider dropping out for the good of the party and the country. And that hits hard inside a White House where Biden once backed up Obama. And it's the kind of rare move now leaking that may or may not, we're just covering the facts for you, but may or may not impact President Biden's thinking tonight. Now, as we've reported, the primaries are over. Right now tonight, the public fact remains President Biden is the nominee. And if that were to change, he is the only person who can change that. This pressure, best we understand it, we've got a lot of different reporters working the phones and angles, is not designed to alienate President Biden or further hurt his chances were he to stay in. It is designed, now by Schumer, Jeffries, Pelosi, and partially possibly Obama, it is designed to ask Joe Biden to be the first president to ever quit a re-election campaign this late under these circumstances. It is the toughest public push against Biden since those early days right after the debate. And it is a remarkable contrast tonight as Trump readies his return.
Tonight is the big night.
Joe Biden off the campaign trail, but the pressure isn't going away from inside his own party.
Donald Trump's acceptance speech, his promised message of unity.
After the White House revealed that Biden tested positive for COVID, people went nuts.
These numbers are devastating for him, and yet he is still digging in.
The chessboard is all checkmate.
We ride or die with Donald John Trump to the end.
And it is not about the Republicans' hopes and expectations that they have it in the bag.
The only shot you have is literally to take the board and throw it up in the air.
All eyes were on Donald Trump's running mate, Senator J.D. Vance.
Everyone on our ticket being unified, the Democrats can't even unify their own White House.
The reason that people are having this conversation is because of the threat of Donald Trump.
Former President Barack Obama has privately expressed concerns to Democrats about Biden's candidacy.
That's a lot. Now, as the nation faces this cascade of developments, some serious and scary, some baroque, some filled with yet another round of remarkable, rare, unprecedented political intrigue, there are people noting how literally unbelievable this feels. Unbelievable not in the sense of remarkable or wild, but unbelievable like, can you believe this? Like, is this a movie? Or as they say nowadays sometimes, is this a simulation? And some are coping through humor. One writer joking, this series finale of America is getting weirder and weirder. These are the kind of tweets and memes that zing around as people give each other a joke or a comfort amidst the moment. I have one more for you. A magazine writer saying if the past 7 days were an episode of The West Wing, it would be panned for being too over the top. And that sounds about right. There have been many absurd plot twists on top of plot twists. Some seem well over the top, and much of this now packed into this week. And it's only Thursday. And not Thursday night, not Thursday prime time. It's really just the end of Thursday on the East Coast as we head into the RNC's final night. And this is not a simulation, not a movie, best as I can tell. This is not the West Wing. But there is a debate over the real West Wing and America's choices, the choices they are right now and the choices as they may be in the days to come, over who should occupy the real West Wing.
Hey there, MSNBC fans. I'm Luke Russert, and be sure to join me, Rachel Maddow, Jen Psaki, Lawrence O'Donnell, Steve Kornacki, Joy Reid, and many more September 7th in Brooklyn, MSNBC Live Democracy 2024. Click on the link for ticket information. We will see you there.